Welcome back, friends. Let's continue our practice. We are going to practice what we learned in Lesson 1 and 2. If you haven't seen Lesson 1 and 2, please go back in the videos. Let's start with our first letter here. It's raising its hands and saying its name. You said I, that's correct. Our next word starts with a, can you guess it? S. S sounds like the snake. S. Our next two letters are called what? If you said E, that's right, and they're both raising their hands saying their name. E. Let's put it all together. S. E. C. This word is only one letter. It is the, you said letter A, yay! It is, and it's saying its name, A. I-C-A. Our last word on the page starts with a C, and it says K. Our next letter is A, and it says Ah. Our next letter is T, and T sounds like the clock. T. Let's roll it all together. K. At. It's an at word. A-T. Cat. Let's read the page. I, C, A, cat. Now we're going to move on to our next page, and we're going to start doing og words. What letter is this? Do you remember from the other page? If you said I, that's correct. I. Do you remember this word? If not, let's sound it out together. S says S. The two E's are holding up their hands saying their name. E. Let's roll it together. S. E. C. The next letter is, you said A, good job. Now for our last word, it starts with a, if you said L, that's right, pat yourself on the back. And L sounds like the waitress singing with her headphones on. La la la. The next letter is O, and O sounds like oh. Our last letter is G. G says, like the guy drinking, g, g, g. We know OG together at the end says og. L, og. The word is log. It's time to read the page. I, C, A, log. Take a look at this page. You might be able to read it without my help. Go ahead, try. Alrighty, let's do it together. The letter I says I. The next word starts with an S, and S says, you said S like the snake, that's right. Here are the two, what letter? E's. Two E's together saying their name. Roll it all together. S. E. C. This letter is saying its name. What is it saying? You said A, good job. Our last word is an og word. It starts with the letter. You said D, good job. What does D sound like? You said duh, that's right, like the big sister that was mean. Next are letters O, ah, and G, g, og. It's an og word. Dog. Now let's read the page. I, C, A, Dog. Good job. Let's read the next page as review together. What's the first word? You said I. That's right. What is the next word? If you said C, that's correct. What is the next word? If you said A, good job. What is our last word? You said cat. Good job. I, C, A, cat. Excellent job reading. 2 more pages to go. Our first letter is C, and C says K. Our next 2 letters are A, T, and we know they say at. Our next letter is S, and it says S. Roll it all together. K, at, S. Cats. Our next word starts with a G, and it says G, G, G. Our next letter is smiling and holding up his hand, so he says his name. O. Go. The next word starts with the letter. You said T. Good job. What sound does T make? T. That's right. Our next letter is our ghost O, and he says, ooh. Let's roll it all together. T. Ooh. 2. Our last word on the page starts with the letter T. T says, like the clock, T. Our next letter is, do you know that one? R. And R says, like we're picking up a heavy weight. Our next 2 letters are smiling and holding up their hands, so they say their name, E. Our last letter is S, and it sounds like the snake, S. Now let's roll it all together, T, R, E's, trees. All right, are you ready to read the page? Cats. Go. 2. Trees. Now let's go to our next page. After this, we will begin spelling. Our first letter is part of the Og word. This letter is D, and D says, like the angry big sister, duh. Do you remember what O and G sound like together? If you said Og, that's right. Our last letter is S, like the snake, S. Let's roll it together, D, Og, S. Dogs. You might already know this next word. Let's sound it out. The first letter is a G, and G says G. Our next letter is O, and he's smiling and holding up his hand, so he says his name, O. Now let's roll it together, G, O, go. Our next letter starts with a T, and T says T. Our next letter is O, and this O is ghost O, so it says ooh. Let's roll it together, T, ooh, 2. Our last word on the page starts with a T, and T says T. Our next letter is R, and R says And there are 2 E's smiling and holding up their hands, so they say their name, E. Our last letter is S, and S sounds like the snake, S. Let's roll it all together, T, R, E, S. trees. Now let's work on spelling. This is a picture of a cat. If you listen closely, cat has at in it, just like our at words. So let's start with the first letter sound. K. Do you remember what makes this sound? K. If you said C, that's correct. The first letter in cat is C. Do you remember what two letters make the at sound? Let's start with the beginning. Ah. What makes ah? If you said A, that's correct. What is the last letter in cat? What letter makes the t sound like a clock? If you said T, that's right. Let's spell another at word. This is a picture of a rat. What beginning letter sound do you think we have? Rat. Which letter sounds like picking up a heavy weight? If you said R, that's correct. The ending of rat is the same as cat. It has the at sound. A and T. At. Rat. Now we are going to work on og words. This is a picture of a dog. Do you know what the beginning sound of dog is? If you said D, that's correct. What letter makes the D sound, like the angry big sister? Duh. If you said D, good job. Dog starts with D. Now we have our og sound. What two letters make og? Well, let's break it down. D, ah. Which letter says ah? Like the mother that didn't want to pay for the bad haircut. Ah. If you said O, good job. Now let's listen for our last letter sound in dog. D, ah, g. What letter makes the g sound, like the man drinking water? G, g, g. If you said G, good job. This is our last word to spell today. It's a picture of a log. What letter does log start with? L, l. If you said L, good job. What are the last two letters? L, og. We know two letters make the og sound. Do you know what they are? If you said O and G, good job, log. Good job, readers. I'm so proud of you. I will see you next time. Bye.